Greetings from the Erie Coast. This is Mad Shad. Thor Vigi me, Thor bless on this wonderful Thursday. Wow, it's a beautiful day. It's also my Friday. That's right, last day of work. Let the weekend begin after I leave. That's right. Clear blue skies, 88 degrees today. Beautiful day. Tell you about those who did not have a beautiful day. Those Americans that are trapped in Afghanistan left there by Trader Joe's malicious / incompetent regime. At least we forget 13 servicemen and women died, navigate Kabul, Afghanistan, along with 200 poor souls. 300 plus people lost arms and legs and limbs, things that don't go back. A lot of them service members as well. Every day, never forget, and never forget whose fault this is. Deploy knife hands. Boom, 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 boom. But there was hope. Folks getting him out. Task Force Argo, Task Force Pineapple, Project Exodus, Project Dynamo, Christian Coalition, Mighty Oak Foundation, just to name a few. And least we forget that 700, 800 plus people are still incarcerated over the J6 debacle. Held there as political prisoners without sentencing, without bail. Torturous solitary confinement conditions. Someone lost an eye. There have been suicides. Every day, never forget, and never forget whose fault this is. And yes, definitely deploy more knife hands. But there's hope. Thousands of people, family, friends, loved ones, charitable organizations, law firms doing pro bono work, even senators, congressmen, representatives, judges, and former president, soon-to-be president, getting into the fray. Every morning they make a phone call to their loved ones and they sing at the top of their lungs the national anthem. Yeah, check that video out. It's all inspiring. Meanwhile, some local news. Meanwhile, City Hall of Cleveland, 2 or 3 days ago, I think, or whatever, got hacked. They were the victim of a cyber hack, and they shut it down. Shut her down. And actually, the city hall is still shut down. But all employees have to come to work so they can figure out what works, what doesn't work, what was affected, what was not affected. They're being very tight-lipped about everything. They're not saying if it was a ransomware or whatever it was. They don't know. They don't even know who did it, right? So they know they got hacked, they got burned, and there you go. Yeah, weird shit going on in Cleveland. Always weird shit going on in Cleveland. And of course, I'm probably sure you've heard of the woman Bianca, whatever, crazy bitch, stole knives from a store and literally just stabbed a 3-year-old to death and tried to stab the mom, or tried to kill the mom as well. Mom survived, kid did not. And well, you know, it's all over the news. I mean, you can see it. It's crazy. Everything's out about it, you know, and nobody knows why she did it. She's not saying. Very incoherent gibberish coming out of the her statements at court. You know, she was smiling, laughing, just fucking nuts. Yeah. So yeah, that's in the news. They have some leads, also more in the Playhouse Square intersection takeover, where a Dodge Charger did some high-speed donuts around a ring of fire that somebody lit. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Lots of local news going on. Let's talk about marijuana here. Yeah, you know, we voted, state of Ohio voted to make marijuana legal. And, well, of course, after that, Governor DeWine and all his everybody else in the state house, state senate, and everybody are now working diligently to pass regulations, and they're coming up with regulations, and it's a work in progress. So they're just they're whatever. So far, what we know is you can't smoke it in public. It's still it can be prohibited in certain areas. It can be prohibited if you live in an apartment and the apartment says no, you can't smoke in your apartment. right? Especially if you can't smoke cigarettes in your apartment, right? Which is where I live. I don't smoke in my apartment anyway. I never have really. But if it's legal to have 6 plants per household, up to 12 plants. So that's 2 people, right? But if you are going to home grow, then you have to sign an affidavit promising not to sell it. Okay. I don't know how they're going to regulate that. Okay. Whatever. It's legal to have up to an ounce of marijuana on you. You can't have something about Delta 8 gummies, THC and CBDC and all that. CBDC. Yeah. There's only going to be 33 dispensaries, and you have to meet all kinds of regulations and things to be able to even grow and sell, and they're just gumming it all up. I mean, isn't that the way of that? That's always the way of government, is control, right? I really don't. The thing about marijuana is, it's marijuana. Do what you want, right? Do what you want. This is America, and if we want weed, we want weed. They never stopped us before. I mean, marijuana has always been the most prolific, the most used, the most readily available drug there is. I mean, everybody consumes it in the in the context of people around the world. It's you can look through history and see its use. Hemp used to be a really big thing. It was a cash crop. Marijuana, obviously, medicinal purposes, things of that nature. Religious stuff like that. Anyway, but here in America, if we say we want something, we want it, and we voted on it. We the people said, okay, this is what we want, and this is it. This is our let's take a vote. And so they're like, oh, okay, well, we can't make that legal. How about we just vote on it? Right? It's not gonna pass. Oh, boom! It passed. Flying colors. Everybody said, hell yeah, let's smoke. And then all the regulations and restrictions come afterwards. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. And there are folks that are fighting back. Of course, there's advocates. What's his name? Lutz. But they're lobbying, going, what the fuck? I mean, you can home brew, and there's no restrictions on it. There's no affidavits needed. There's no registrations needed. You just brew at home. You just can't go over a certain amount. And you can't really sell it, even though people do. And it's not regulated. Nobody goes to jail, right? So why worse regulations and restrictions for marijuana? And he's got a point. He's got a really good point. Now the caveat here, the cons, get your pros and cons, right? The cons of it is, we see how the tyrannical regime, that's one of their game plans, is to literally drug the society, right? Drug the people to the point where they're absolutely either society crumbles and goes into mayhem and turmoil, or they get placated and they do what they're told, right? So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Marijuana, on the other hand, kind of opens up free thinking, and it's bad for you. It is bad for you. I think it puts a lot of carbon dioxide on your heart. Anything that puts carbon dioxide on your heart is very bad. But one could say that the benefits and the help that it gives is better than the side effects that it gives. I mean, what are the other side effects? Is you eat. You eat and sit down, depending on what kind you get, right? So if you get the good stuff, and what is it called? If you get a sativa strain, then you're running around cleaning your house, cleaning your car, writing a book, painting a masterpiece, that kind of thing. It opens up creativity and shit like that. Or you get the indica, and you sit on the couch and watch Netflix and eat all the food in the house. Which, by the way, studies have shown that there's a reason why habitual marijuana users don't get diabetes. Interesting. So there are lots and lots of benefits to people. It's great for cancer patients to get their appetite back. It helps with epilepsy. There was a girl. She had grand mal seizures heartbreaking to watch. Young kid. Been having grand mal seizures since she was born. Had to take these massive drugs that knock her down. Where she's just very lethargic, and that's I think, I don't know. I remember this case, and the family finally found some gummies, gave them to her, and literally right there, as she was having a grand mal seizure, boom, hi, and she was fine. So if it helps, use it. Why make it illegal? But the thing with all the restrictions and all the regulations, and leave us the fuck alone. Let us do what the fuck we want, because we are going to do what the fuck we want. Case in point, here in Cleveland, there's a lot of rebelliousness, obviously, about that, about the marijuana. One of the restrictions is that you cannot smoke it in public. So they literally had a festival where people were just walking down the street smoking right there, cops watching them, they waving. Yeah, what you gonna do? Because they don't yet have a citation for it, and also the police, I think the Fraternal Order of Police has complained that now they have all these, they have a multi-million-dollar problem, whereas all these drug dogs that were trained to sniff out marijuana now are out of a job. Now they're, it's to retrain them to forget marijuana. Is going to be even more money to retool these drug dogs. So, I mean, it's turning into a big freaking snowball effect. That's quite interesting to watch. Now, I think you should do what you want. You know what I'm saying? That's the American way. We are many, they are few. We do what we want, they do what they can. Right? So how many people have spit on the sidewalk and not went to jail, right? So, I mean, it's, of course you could say, well, anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. But anyway, there's a lot of laws and rules on the books that people just don't follow anyway. I mean, look at traffic. How many of you speed, right? I remember when the traffic laws were instated. They said it was mere suggestions for safe driving, right? That's all traffic laws were written up as, is mere suggestions. Now you can go to jail for a long time for speeding. It becomes quite costly for you. I mean, you could lose your license. Driving is a privilege because it's something that the government allows you to do, right? Tell that to the rural areas. I remember 5-6 years old driving a Ford Mustang, on the knees of my aunt. And I've got the wheel, and she's hitting the brake and gas. I'm steering. I mean, whatever, And then it got to the point where I was like 7 or 10 years old. She's like, "Hey, go get my car. It's on the other side of the parking lot." I'm like, "Okay." Here you go. Here you go, Aunt. If you live in a rural area, everybody. I mean, 5 years old, 10 years old, get on that truck and get over there and feed those cows. Let's go. Get in the truck and go. You know, like, yes, sir, right? 10 years old, working on the farm, driving tractors and trucks and shit. I mean, no license, nothing needed, right? So, I don't know. Where am I going with this? Why am I ranting about this? Because, it's just, I find it very interesting. And I have some hope that, even though it's just marijuana, but which is it comes from the earth, it comes from God, whatever you want to say, I truly believe that for every ailment there's a cure, and it's provided for us right here. I'm looking at mullein right now. It grows wild around here. So yeah, same thing with marijuana. I mean, it's and anything can be abused, right? So that's the great thing about being an adult, an American, is that you can use your best judgment, or you don't have to. You can indulge a little, so you can indulge and abuse it if you wish, just to have some fun and see where it goes, push the limits, whatever. You see drinking is worse, 10 times worse than marijuana, 100 times worse than marijuana. Someone gets drunk and they want to what happens, when someone gets drunk, they go to a party, they get in a fight, they puke and shit all over the place and themselves. They get in a car, they can't drive, they wreck, boom, they get out of the car and they want to fight some more. But the pothead that smokes and goes to the party, he's sitting around having meaningful conversations. He might be eating all the hors d'oeuvres. He's talking to folks, whatever, and then he gets in his car and calmly drives home, and doesn't get in a fight with anyone. So what the fuck? I mean, of course, but it was. How can I put this? I guess I have to be blunt about it then. The whole marijuana thing, the marijuana scare, the reefer madness, violent, uncontrollable laughter. It was started along with a lot of other things in our history, is to in fear of the black man. Really, same thing with the NFA, the National Firearms Act, and all that shit. They were afraid that the black folks were going to rise up and kill Whitey, and they were going to calm the fuck down and smoke weed. And marijuana has always been that type of philosophical drug, a philosophical thing, because you would smoke it and have deep conversations about the plight of a cheese sandwich or something. Or, why haven't the aliens come and visited us? And you have these very deep conversations, these deep reflections, and insights that come from marijuana. I'm not condoning drug use at all. I'm just saying, if you want to do it, do it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. I mean, but be educated about it. But hey, we're Americans and we're adults here. Do what you want. Do what the fuck you want. Do what you want. Least ye harm none. Right? So it goes way back, way back. So why am I carrying on like this? I don't know. But yeah, it's the whole thing with the and it was funny because. Not only were they afraid that the black folks were gonna smoke some weed and get all philosophical and smart, which they did. Look at jazz, jazz, jazz is all about smoking, right? Amazing. Let's just smoke and jam out, right? Bust out the saxophone. Creativity comes from a lot of marijuana use. And so that's what they're afraid of. Anyway, I gotta go. 'Tis time, and I've talked enough. So go TeamLinda, go TeamLinda. Fuck cancer. She is kicking ass, taking names, getting stronger by the day. Go Team Joe Morgan. Go check out Joe Morgan's channel. Give him some love and support. This has been Mad Shad. Every day, never forget.